Howdy, folks. This is just a reminder that if you like this content, you can help me out by liking, commenting, and especially by subscribing. And be sure to hit the bell notification so you always get notified whenever I have a new video. Hope you enjoy this. Come Across says, what happens with conjoined twins when one wants to go to confession and the other doesn't? And what happens to their bodies at the end of time? Well, what happens to their bodies at the end of time, we're going to have to leave to God because we don't know. He hadn't told us about this kind of situation. So it's possible that God gives them each their own body. It's also possible that he lets them stay conjoined, but in the glory of the resurrection, it won't be a burden to them. So we just have to leave that to God at the end of time. I suspect they would get their own bodies. I actually suspect we're going to be able to change form because we take on many different forms during the course of our lives as we grow, and Jesus himself appeared differently to different people. So I think one of the preternatural gifts or superpowers that we are likely to get at the end of time is something that will allow us to potentially change our form. At least that's a speculation on my part. In terms of what happens when they want to go to confession, when one wants to go to confession and the other doesn't, well, then they work it out themselves. It's like anything else that they deal with. If one of them wants to eat and the other doesn't, let's assume they both have mouths and functional digestive tracts, even if they merge up at some point. If one of them wants to have dinner and the other doesn't want to have dinner yet, well, then they've got to work it out. They got to come to some kind of agreement. And the same thing would happen if one of them wanted to go to confession and the other didn't. They'd have to work it out and decide what they're going to do. Because they are distinct individuals, even though they're conjoined, there's under ordinary circumstances, unless they do something really unusual, both of them are likely to be aware of the content of each other's confessions. And since they are distinct individuals, whoever was not doing the confessing, so let's say conjoined twin A does the confession, then conjoined twin B will be bound by the seal of confession, which applies not only to the priest, but to the translator, if there is a translator, and anyone else who overhears the confession of a person. So if conjoined twin A confesses, anyone who is aware of that confession, including the conjoined twin B, is going to be bound by the seal of confession. And before we go, just one more reminder that if you like what you've watched, you can help me out by liking, commenting, and especially by subscribing. I'm trying to grow my channel, and I'd really appreciate your help. Thank you, and God bless you.